Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWineRadio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes Radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.
Hi, I'm Spencer Hoopes. I'm the owner-proprietor of Hoopes Vineyard and Liparita Cellars Cabernets. And the Hoopes Vineyard and Liparita Oakville are 100% Oakville Cabernets, very Oakville in character. And we do a Yountville appellation Cabernet as well under Liparita. And hopefully you'll have an opportunity to try them all and see how you like them.
Welcome to Wine and Dine Radio. I'm Lynn Creelo-Chamberlain.
Hi there, this is Andreas Larsson.
Hi, this is John Capon.
My name is Mathur Jaffrey.
Hi, my name is Heike Platter. I'm from the Alto Adige region, or Südtirol.
Hi, my name is Paul Dolan. I am absolutely passionate about growing organic and biodynamic fruit for our wines.
Hello, my name is Lorena Garcia.
Hello, my name is Fritz Maytag.
This is Joyce Locke. I'm the author of Foodie Fight.
Hi, this is Lydia Mandave, founder of 29 Cosmetics.
Cheers, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of vinvillage.com, where wine lovers connect.
If Cabernet put Napa Valley on the map, then Oakville is Cab Central. Perhaps nowhere else on the North American continent does one find as many iconographic wineries and vineyards as there are in the region of Oakville, which is totally, entirely devoted to Cabernet Sauvignon. Joining us today on Wine and Dine is Spencer Hoopes, who's the principal owner of Hoopes Vineyard and Liparita's grape sources. And the name Liparita is something that people will be familiar with because the brand has been out there for a while. But Spencer Hoopes is the proprietor. But just to give you a heads up here, as we're talking, the wines that we're going to be talking about today are like, and Spencer will correct me if I'm wrong, but $55, $65 a bottle. But they're going to be doing a tasting this summer or coming up here where they're going to be putting it blind in a group of Napa cabs that are basically double, triple that price, and they're going to absolutely hold their own. Spencer, thank you so very much. And I should have asked you before we even started recording, am I pronouncing correctly Hoopes?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
My name is Spencer Hoopes.
Okay.
And owner-proprietor of Hoopes Vineyard and of Liparita.
Liparita. Okay, good. I got that pronounced correctly. Okay, good. So, are you a California man born and bred, or are you originally from another part of the country?
No, I grew up in southeast Arizona. It was a little farming community, isolated really, probably 100 miles from any town of any consequence. In the high desert in southeast Arizona. Well, I don't think they even have wine down there.
Well, now, I mean, before I moved to the coast of North Carolina, I lived in Scottsdale for many years.
Okay.
And at that time, in the 80s and early 90s, the wine industry, the grape growing industry in Arizona was just getting started. And it was at the 4,000 or 5,000 feet elevation down anyway. So what was your business that brought you from Arizona to being the owner of Hoopes Vineyard and Liparita?
Well, really, it was just the business of growing up. I mean, I left Arizona when I was 14 and ended up going to school in Southern California.
Okay.
Did some graduate school in Northern California.
In business?
No, I'm actually a lawyer by training. I graduated from the UC Davis School of Law.
Wow.
And I went to my first job in life in between school and the Army, because I'd gotten drafted while I was in law school, was as an antitrust counsel at Safeway stores. And while I was waiting around to go into the Army, I'd met a man who's a psychiatrist in San Francisco, and he was really into wine, and he invited me to go do a wine tasting with some guys down at a wine shop on Union Street in those days. This was some time ago. And we ended up forming a really interesting group of guys, and I can't remember how often we went, but I think it was like every other Wednesday we'd go in and we'd taste wine. It was mostly focused on Bordeaux and Burgundies, and we did some German wines.
Okay.
And we did blind tastings every Wednesday.
Wow.
Or every other Wednesday.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, wow. And you fell in love at that point.
Yeah, I became fascinated with wine and started collecting wine. So I actually come to the wine business through the collecting part. I had a huge wine collection there in San Francisco, and I read everything I could get my hands on about wine, and I came to it from that, and I ended up acquiring some property in Napa Valley, and then we decided to plant some grapes and growing grapes, and I was perfectly happy to do that. I never had any deep-seated intention of being in the wine business. I mean, I loved wine, but didn't have any intention of being in the business.
Wow. Oh my gosh! So talk to us about these two wines that I have. The Hoopes Vineyard and the Liparita, the Cabernet wines. Talk to us about those. And Alan Goldfarb said that you're going to be. Am I quoting him correctly in that you have plans, or Alan has plans to be putting them in a lineup of Cabernets and proving that they're way underpriced?
Well, what we do that internally now. What we do is about once a year we'll do what we call a double blind, where somebody puts them in the bags and somebody else comes along and entitles them so that nobody really knows what they are.
Okay.
And we do that now, and the criteria is to put one or two of our wines in the flight, and the flight typically would be 10 to 12 different wines, and we try to select what we would think are comparable wines in terms of quality, but selling for 120 plus in the market. And so we do it internally, and our wines have always stood up very well. We typically coming in 1, 2, or 3, and we have outside people joining us in the tasting. And again, it's always blind, so it's not us picking our own wine.
Right.
So I have great confidence that the wines will show really well in any group. We do a trade event every year, Taste of Oakville, which is all the big Oakville guns, all the big Cabernets produced in Oakville, and we have such a huge crowd of people coming by. Hey, these wines are the top 1, 2, or 3 wines here. I mean, these wines are really good. So we always get a lot of input like that. So I'm not afraid of how the wines show.
How old? How old are the grapevines? Is it like they were planted in 1989?
Yeah, something like that. I have 10 acres over on Yountville Road. It's in the southernmost part of Oakville. And when we planted it, the half of the valley was torn up with phylloxera. And there were really only 2 rootstocks that you could go for that were known to be resistant to the phylloxera. Yeah, so we ended up with I think it was SO4, St. George.
Okay.
And so we put St. George in, and then when it came to the clone, I said, I kind of grew up on Bordeaux and Burgundy. It goes through the wine tasting group, right? So I said, I'm really kind of a Bordeaux fan. So we took a really old lengthy Bordeaux clone and put it on there.
Wow.
And it was old-style farming. I mean, the rows are 13 feet apart, the vines are 8 feet apart, and the vines, we have a double Geneva curtain on them. And so we have four canes that throw fruit. And the fruit is just really unique in my opinion. I mean, I don't know whether it's luck or skill or what, but the combination of the soil and that root stock and the clone and the way we're farming, we get really unique Cabernet out of it. When you go through at the end of the season when you're trying to gauge ripeness,
yeah,
you really pick it up in the fruit. The fruit just has really bright fruit flavors to it, and it produces a fantastic nose in the glass, and you get it on the mouth with the wine too. Just these really kind of light fruit. It's unique.
In addition to people being able to purchase from the website hoopesvineyard.com and let me see, liparita.com, which we'll have links up to, you're also pouring the wines opposite the Oakville grocery?
Well, we're a small producer, and we don't have bricks and mortar. We don't own a winery per se.
Okay.
What we do is we make all of our wine at the Napa Wine Company in Oakville.
Oh, okay.
And they're at the corner of Highway 29 and Oakville Crossroad, right across from Oakville Grocery.
Okay.
And they have a tasting room there, so anyone who's interested can go in and taste our wines, and then all the other small producers that produce wine there also have their wines in the tasting room.
So before we run out of time, real quick, talk to us about the Hoopla wines.
Oh, the Hoopla was a label that we came up with. We kind of, Hoopes Vineyard is a serious wine, and the Liparita is a really serious cab. And we wanted something that was kind of fun that we could do other things with, and so we came up with the Hoopla brand. So in our thinking, we could do anything with that. We could do a California red wine. We could blend anything we wanted to come up with a wine that could be popularly prized. And I mean, it wasn't all about protecting the brand and making sure that people understood it's a serious wine, because it's not. And we do a Chardonnay under the Hoopla.
Okay.
Which sells at a really good price. And so that's a brand that we can kind of play with and experiment with.
And the terrier that's on the cover, is that your dog?
Well, it was my dog. That was Dante, Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
And I had Dante for 17 years, and
wow.
I have so many pictures of him with me in the vineyards, and walking around at harvest time. He's standing up in the bin on the grapes, and he was quite a crazy guy. But I don't have him anymore now.
Oh my gosh! Well, you're able to. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Yes, and you're able, but you're able to pay tribute to him with this. The label is so cute. I love this. Hoopes Vineyard label has his dog jumping through a hoop, and the Hoopla is like he's jumping up to catch a frisbee. Spencer Hoopes, it's such a pleasure talking to you today on Wine and Dine. We really thank you for your time.
Well, thank you.
We will have links up to all three of the labels and brands that we talked about on Wine and Dine. Thank you. Are you still practicing law?
No, I haven't practiced law for a long time. My daughter's a lawyer, interestingly enough. She's a prosecutor with the DA in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she gets a full dose of it all the time.
Oh, wow. Well, before...
No, I never cared for practicing law.
Really?
Much more of a businessman, yeah.
Oh, my... Okay, before you hang up on me, I want to get a liner in your voice so that I'll introduce the segment with. And I'm going to kind of leave this in your lap, how you'd like to phrase it, but something like, hello, my name is Spencer Hoopes. I am the owner of Hoopes Vineyard, Liparita wines, and Hoopla wines, and you can learn more online. We're totally Oakville-based Cabernets, and you can learn more online at whatever you want, like 10 to 12 seconds, 15 seconds in length.
Okay.
I'm going to cut my mic. You can start whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWineRadio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWineRadio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.